Let's go back to the phone lines. And Eric, who's on line one?
We got David from Raleigh.
David? David from Raleigh. Oh, we're going to go there for a second. Are you ready for that?
We weren't, but we are now.
Okay, we're ready for that now. All right, so let's go to David from Raleigh, who's a part of the are you in the Browns backers down there, David?
Yes, sir, in Cary, North Carolina.
Cary, North Carolina. What do you got for us, David? I know you've wanted to participate in the show before. What did you think of yesterday's game?
Actually, it was a pretty good game. I'm glad that we finally can play with the big boys. It's just Brady and them boys just got a horseshoe. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's probably a great way to put it, too. What'd you think of the end of the game in particular?
The bogus call?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. But then again, nobody wants to see the Patriots lose, obviously.
Well, that's kind of how it felt yesterday.
Nobody cares about Cleveland, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if it's that so much or the big market. I mean, it's one way to look at it. I mean, Pittsburgh got kind of – I don't know if Pittsburgh got robbed or not.
No, definitely not. He stepped out of bounds.
Okay, so –
Nope.
But I don't know if it's so much just Cleveland. It's ever. I mean, we all want to sit here because we haven't won anything in forever. But excuse me. But you know, I don't know if it's just us. You know what I'm saying? The big markets seem to get a little bit of leeway.
Well, that might have something to do with Mr. Jones and NFL Network and all that stuff too.
That's a good point, David. Are you part of the Browns backers down there?
Yes.
How big is your group?
We got about 150 active, and then we got a bunch of people come in and out.
What was the reaction? I mean, obviously they were pretty happy until about the final 61, 62 seconds of that game.
Well, but after everybody had their heart attacks and got back off the floor, we just chalk it up to typical Cleveland. We can't never get a break, and it's typical Browns.
If somebody wants to get involved in your group down there, tell them how do they do it?
Well, we just come out to the Browns backer in Cary there and just show up, sign up, and go from there.
Where do you have your game day?
It's at the pub on Walnut Street.
The pub on Walnut Street. Okay, so if anybody wants to be a part of that Browns backers group that's with us this morning, please feel free to stop by there. Hey, David, we appreciate your time, man.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right,
thanks,
hang on.
David.
You get a T-shirt too, so hang on the line.
Yeah, hang on the line so we can get your information.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that for those people also watching, that Cary's right on the Virginia-North Carolina border. So I've been through there many, many times on 95. So if you're also in Virginia and you're watching, you can make the trip. It's probably about 25, 30 minutes.
I got to think that's big Washington territory too, right?
Big time. Yeah, big time. Cary's probably big time Redskins fans.
All right, 7:32 right now. On Skype, if you want to join us, Dawgs on the run.
What in the heck?
Can we punch that up?
Yeah, we can. It's
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's
we
not
don't
on
have
board.
it. No. Sorry, we don't mean to not include you in the joke, but the reindeer has invaded our news set over at Channel 5. He's sitting in one of the anchor chairs reading some of the copy. So he has completely taken over. There.
Hang on.
We got it.
He's somewhere. Okay, so
There. Yep. There he is.
that's the News Channel 5 studio.
Yeah, you can just see him up on the right. There he is. Lean in a little bit.
No, he doesn't know. But I'm watching him on two different things.
He's trying to get into his beer on the set. Yes.
What is he doing over there?
I have no idea what he's doing, but he's being yelled at because they're being. I saw somebody tell him to get off the set. Boy.
He's hanging out on the set of the reindeer.
Oh,
That's how low we've hit this morning. This is the rock bottom of Dawgs on the Run that we finally hit.
Eric, they're trying to move him into the shot. Now there's something going on in there. Oh, he pushed him off the chair.
But no one can see that because we've got this real tight shot. So now, Eric.
I'll take it.
You got it? All right, you got it. Take it. Take it.
It's not there.
Oh.
Yeah, all right, now he but whatever. Who cares? Let's get off that. Anyways, 216-431-3820, 216-431-3820, or you can hit us on Twitter. But we really want to hear from you on Skype. Dawgs on the Run. I can see. The other thing here though is that with 3 weeks to go, look, they played a good game against New England, but apathy is totally in. I mean, it's almost to the point where after they lost, with a minute to go, somebody was saying to me, "Hey," because there's this guy from Boston that calls the radio show all the time, and they said, "Hey, I want to hear from him. I want to hear from him. I want to hear from him." I'm like, let's play out this final minute before we start talking about wanted, and then you knew what was going to happen. And so, and I think maybe that's part of the sad part. You knew what was going to happen. You could feel it.
And you're going to get that phone call today. The guy from Boston's going to be calling you today on the radio. And that's you know what, and I think David from North Carolina, the Browns backers, that's what he was alluding to. You know, when he was saying, I just hate when people say typical Cleveland, blah, 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 because I don't look at it that way. I mean, I'm not one of those woe is me type of guys, but what you're saying is very true. And it's the Tom Brady factor. There's not a guy out on that field that played for the Browns that did not think Tom Brady was not going to bring back New England in his own play. They came back from 21-0 down 2 weeks before that. I mean, this is a guy that just wins football games, and until you get a quarterback, and nothing against Jason Campbell, put up the 6th highest passing day in Browns history yesterday. Until you get a quarterback, Andy, you see the importance of how much that guy means. Because he's on the field, he drives them right down the field, he's waiting for the onside kick with his helmet on. He knows they're going to get it. I mean, that's just something we haven't seen here, and we may not see until you get the right players in place. I don't know how long that's going to take.
Let me bring up another point about the onside kick, because I just think it's strange. And for two guys that work in TV our whole lives, and we've worked on productions left and right. And when I say productions, I'm talking about like doing a game. This is a production that we're doing right here, but when it comes to doing a game, you've got, sometimes they're called EBS operators, sometimes they're called tape control guys, whatever you want to call them. They're guys that have highlights from previous games that are ready to roll. I got to be honest, who in the world would have had the last onside kick for the Patriots that was successful? It just seems so fishy. It seems so smelly. Didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was really weird. It was like, really, you just happened to have that play of the last onside kick that the Patriots had successfully recovered, and oh, by the way, it was against the Browns. I mean, that's the only reason why, because somebody was probably looking through the archives last week and said, well, this is interesting. They've never had an onside kick. There's no way they're going to need it this week, but I'll put this in my repertoire, and maybe we'll get to use it. Hang on a second.
Part of your fixed repertoire.
What, Eric?
Here's what I'm going to say. Dorothy, she wasn't liking the players' dance, so let's see if she likes the Tubby dance. We got Tubby on Skype 1.
Tubby's already here? Wow, Tubby's in early.
Tubby's up early.
Hey, Tub, how are you, man?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good,
no,
man.
You know what? I feel like I need an aspirin this morning. Between Ohio State and the Browns yesterday, it's just depressing. I mean, it really is. By the way, Tubby's on the Skype line brought to us by our good friends at Wayside Furniture.
Yep, gotta love Wayside.
Too.
Tubby, you were calling us out?
Calling the state of Ohio out, saying that we were voted as cursing the most, the state that curses the most, but he's the only one that is cursed on this show, and he's from PA.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with you people. I mean, I am throwing a fit, and I'm being. I don't know where to start, guys. I mean, from start to finish, this is just jacked up. The entire friggin' thing was just messed up. And who the hell decided to hire these guys to call a game? I mean, I'm pretty sure that myself and the drunken reindeer could call a better freaking game than like high off of Oxycontin than those two guys did. They constantly got the players' names wrong.
They did.
It's like they didn't care. The only thing they cared about was the pay. Oh my God.
You're right. They got called out on Twitter a lot, Tub. I mean, they were calling
Don Criqui, or you talking about the
both
referees?
them and Steve Tasker. I mean, they were calling
Yeah.
Jordan Campbell. I must have heard at least 6 or 7 different times. So they combined our quarterback and our tight end several different times. And as a guy who that's one of the things I do for a living is I play-by-play broadcast. You spend a lot of time studying for games. I do. I mean, I called 2 games in one weekend, and I still you take pride in doing that. And for the fact that you got Criqui and Tasker out there, it's belittling to your football team is what it is. I try to make sure that I give each team equal props, but I agree with you. I mean, I'm watching the beginning of that game. You're like, and there's a catch by Jordan Campbell. You're like, no, that's Cameron. And he's going, it was bad.
You know, it was,
It was horrible.
disrespectful.
Like the whole game was like, I was sitting there going, is this real life? I felt like I was back at my granddad's house. And you guys are old enough. You remember the TVs with the rabbit ears where like you had to adjust them and you had to do it like just right. And everybody was on you. No, don't move. I got the picture, don't move. You know, so you're standing there, you got tin foil in one hand and holding on to the stinking rabbit ear with the other one just so the picture's right. That's how I felt the whole game. And then all of a sudden at the end of it, it's like the signal just went out. And then here we are again, same old Browns, and we lost. It's just unbelievable. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Tubby, can you step back just a little bit and go, okay, this isn't so bad because it kind of helps our draft pick. I hate that mentality, but the reality of it is.
I think I'll get there by Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, that's
when
like a
I'm-
Wednesday feeling. I agree with that.
You know, I can't. I just can't do it right now. I mean, you always want your team to win. You always want your team to win, and then, like after the season's over, and then you take draft, and then you take a look at where you're actually at, and then you're like, okay, we're still $30 million underneath the cap. We got 2 first-round picks. We screwed up enough in the season. We're going to get some extra compensatory picks, you know. And then that's when you take and you try to make yourself feel better, you know, like it's not so bad. Like, oh my God, I got that drunk and I actually did that chick last night, but I did wear a condom, so I think I'm okay. You know what I mean? That's what you feel like.
I just also want to point out Tubby's amazing shirt that he has on. And it's that easy to get. All you got to do is just Skype in, and you get that amazing looking shirt.
Yeah, and if you're big fans like me, they have big sizes, so it's okay.
Life is good. Tubby, dance us out of here, my man.
All right, here we go.
Well done, Tubby.
You're the man,
well
Tub.
Tubby, save it up, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good man. Tubby's
Yeah,
good,
Tub's
man.
awesome. Love Tub. Yeah, and you can get a shirt.
Thanks,
I mean,
dude. Awesome.
you never know what's going to happen. I mean, Sonia, who follows us, who's been on the show, she called in and won a shirt, and she had her shirt on. She tweeted it out. So for all of you, you can see for yourself that we have all sorts of people that follow the show, and when they win a shirt, they want to celebrate.
I don't think that shirt's ever looked so good.
Yeah.
On Skype, Dogs on the Run. On the phone line, 216-431-3820. Let's go to Craig Lindell from Waiting from Next Year. Hi, Craig. How are you? By the way, Angry Browns fan coming up here in a minute.
Hey, Craig.
I think, hey guys, how's it going? Am I
Good.
coming in okay? I feel like maybe I need a reconnect.
No, you're
No,
good.
you look good. Yep.
Everything's
good. Everything's
All right,
good.
cool.
Everything's fine.
All right.
Except for what we have to talk about now.
All right. Did the Browns get homered yesterday, or did the Browns get I'll just call it what it is. Did they get screwed?
Oh yeah, the Browns absolutely got screwed. I'm kind of already there, Andy, with you, and I rarely get to this place where I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much, but I'm there. It doesn't really matter that much, but I want to enjoy my 4 hours or whatever it is watching Browns football, and I feel like that was stolen from me yesterday. In the end, it doesn't matter. The Browns were a 4 or a 5-win team anyway, but I
Oh, he was right.
I guess he was right.
He was right. We got to reconnect.
We got to
Craig,
reconnect.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
That was,
Okay.
You know what? He knows his stuff, doesn't he?
He does.
That's pretty good.
And now he's back.
All right. Go ahead. Now you're good. Go.
all right, am I still here?
Yeah,
Yep.
now you're there. Okay.
All right. Well, first of all, Andy, you do not have to take any phone calls from the Bostonian. You don't have to.
I know. Problem is, I don't run the phones over there today. The other guy does.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk philosophy for a second. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
listening.
Beyond the game yesterday, I don't know how to explain to my son, I don't know how to explain to anybody, and I consider myself, in the top percentile of people who watch football. I don't know how to explain to somebody what a catch is anymore. Josh Gordon gets pushed out of bounds, runs over the guy holding the first down marker, takes 7 more steps, and then drops the ball, no catch. Rob Gronkowski catches the ball, gets hit by TJ Ward on the field of play before he's able to take even 2 or 3 steps, hits the ground, drops the ball. That's the catch, no fumble, no nothing. That's a catch. It's a good catch as they cart him off the field. I don't even blame the referees so much anymore for being bad at their jobs. I think it's an impossible task with how complicated the rules have become. The NFL came to prominence in this country because it was easier to understand than baseball. Not going to be the case going forward.
That's a great point. I'm still trying to figure out helmet to helmet. Is that only for quarterbacks and wide receivers that are running through the middle of the field? Is that the only time you can call helmet to helmet? Because that's what it seems like.
Well, and here's the deal, Andy. So on the call on Jordan Poyer, that's an okay call from the referee standpoint because they didn't call anything but unnecessary roughness. And if you read the rule book, unnecessary roughness is so vague that they basically just let the referees call it whenever they feel like it in terms of, yeah, that looked like unnecessary roughness. It's not about helmet to helmet. It's not about illegal hits. It's about, and that receiver was defenseless. But I'm with you. I don't understand. If it's not illegal contact, does it matter that he's a defenseless receiver? Aren't you allowed to tackle a defenseless receiver? It's so confusing. It's impossible.
I'll give you one more I'm confused about. I'm now confused officially about grounding. What is grounding? What is not grounding? Apparently, when you're about to be sacked, you can throw the ball 2 feet in front of you into the ground. like Tom Brady did and claim that, oh, okay, there was a receiver in the area when technically he was engaged with a lineman. And then Jason Campbell's rolling outside, trying to throw the ball while he's being sacked over top of a guy with an intended target about 7 yards in front of him. And that is. So, I'm confused about that call as well. So I'm with you. I consider myself among the top percentile of NFL watchers. It's my favorite sport. I'll watch any NFL game at any time, and I've seen a lot in all my years, but I don't think I've ever questioned some of the penalties that were called and go, okay, I didn't know that was a penalty. I'm confused.
Yeah, and it's not a conspiracy. It's not fixed per se. It just so happens that when you're Tom Brady, you get the benefit of the doubt, and when you're Jason Campbell, you don't. When you're the Patriots going for a last-minute touchdown in the end zone, and you're going against Leon McFadden, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt because Tom Brady threw the pass at home. And it's not. It's kind of the way it is. And the Browns need to, in order to upset the Patriots on the road, the Browns have to be able to finish that game. They have to be able to collect an onside kick. That negates the bogus personal foul in the end zone. They need to be able to defense, a 30-yard pass, although I still think they did. But it's not a grand conspiracy. It's just kind of the way things are.
Craig, what's coming up on Waiting for Next Year?
Well, the thing I talked to you about with the catches, I'll be writing that up later today. Also, Monday mornings, I always talk to Scott Rabb, so on the podcast. So it should be a very interesting chat with him this morning.
That'll be good.
Awesome.
I'll make sure you listen to that. Scott's one of the best. Scott writes for Esquire magazine and native Clevelander who writes a little bit like this format. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. And I think that's what makes Scott so great and so unique. Thanks.
Yeah,
we appreciate it, Craig.
He's totally uncensored. It's the best way to have Scott Rabb do anything.
All right, thank you, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Let's go back to the Skype line. We're going to our other Wayside Furniture Skype line, and that would be Roger Chanoline, former Cleveland Brown. Hi, Roger. How you feeling today? Everything good?
Yeah, everything is going good. How about yourself?
We're doing great. What'd you think of the game yesterday?
It was just it's hard to even fathom what really went down. Just listening to you guys this morning, I do agree from the standpoint of the onside kick really being a big factor. Granted, some of the call in the end zone was a bad call towards the end of the game, but I don't think we should have been in that situation. We should have been in a 4-minute offense finishing out the game after we retrieved the onside kick, but it didn't work out that way, unfortunately.
Roger, when you're on the field, and you have a much better perspective than we do, and it seems like things are going out of control and the referees are kind of taking over the game, what's that feeling like from your perspective? Because at home, you feel totally helpless.
Well, I normally in a situation like that, you would hope that you can rally the troops. The quarterback can get everybody on the same page and get everybody calmed down, because everybody gets excited, and it's an emotional time anytime you're in the middle of a game. But you're hoping that you can get everybody on the same page and you guys can get your plays run and you can be productive while you're on the field. I will admit that this season and even last season, you're starting to see the referees have more of an impact on finals, scores and the final outcome of the games. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed by the league. But, again, I've always been under the mindset that you shouldn't allow yourself to be put in a position that a referee can make a final outcome determination.
Don't put yourself in that spot. Totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you as well. I don't want to get all negative, but as far as the offense yesterday, I thought North Turner had a pretty good offensive game plan going up against the Patriots.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was thoroughly impressed with how well the offense played yesterday. And it was exciting to see. It was something that I wish I could have seen over the last 4 weeks, consistently. But again, it gives you glimmers of what could be as we get ready for next season. Because ultimately, that's what they're doing now, trying to make sure that they do all of the right things and prepare themselves for the future.
It's just sad the way the game ended, and I agree with you. But they put themselves in that situation. But up until the last 60 seconds, and I hate to keep harping on it, I thought it was one of the best games both sides of the football have played in a long, long time. And you consider the competition they were playing against. At some point, I'm like, this is their signature win for the year if they can hold on. But thoroughly, both sides of the football played as well as we've seen them play all year.
Yeah, I do agree, and I mean it would have been a great staple for the season, to show that look, we're progressing, we're getting better, we're going to make a few key changes this off season and then move on, But for it to go the way it did, it was tough.
Roger, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Have a great day, and good to see you, my friend.